Just waiting for Brian to give us a go. Oh, we got Brian. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? And thanks for joining me again. I don't know which camera to look at because there's so many going on right now. They're in the studio right now. I've got co-hosting with me tonight, my good friend, James Bonamer. Thank you. Oh, dude. Good as always. Couldn't be happier. I always take James into the darkest corners when he just wants to talk about the Browns and have like a fun conversation. So I appreciate him always being a trooper.
Absolutely.
And running the ones and twos behind the camera, doing all the different, angles and everything. My good friend, Brian Semall. How we doing, Brian? You got a live mic, so you could talk to the people.
Hey, peeps. Comment, like, subscribe,
Hey, so you know what? Let's kick off first. I want to just crazy headline. An Iraqi plane is grounded in Dubai. All right. So they're about to take off in Dubai. This is an Iraqi plane commercial flight.
Okay.
They're being scolded by the UAE government, the United Arab Emirates, because they had to keep the plane grounded, and the people on the plane, the captain comes on the announcer to inform everyone that a bear has broken out of its crate under the storage facility.
No way.
And they're trying to sedate the bear and get control. So some Iraqi bear broke into this plane in Dubai, and the people were not allowed to leave with this wild bear going crazy under them.
I would be going nuts. I wonder if they could hear it and stuff. Could they hear it going nuts? Right.
And they're like, just stay calm. We have more pretzels for you.
As the floor begins to bow beneath them. Yeah. No.
Exactly.
I'd be out.
Exactly. All right. I just thought that was a crazy headline.
Yeah,
but
that's
let's
nuts.
get into the heart of it. A good conversation. Let's kick off with the Browns. Okay. It breaks my heart to even talk about this, but here we are. This is the least excited I've been for a season, and I think it's when we have the most potential. But I don't know if it's because I'm so beaten and battered, or there isn't hope and I can't see it. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this season?
I mean, it's tough to have hope with this team, you know what I mean? But that's all we do have, unfortunately.
Oh.
But I don't know. It's all up to Deshaun, I think. You know what I mean? Those last 6 games last year really didn't give me any faith. I don't know about you.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he looks good at all.
So again, I'm looking at a $250 million pit of money.
Guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry. I have no guarantee that he's going to perform.
Exactly. He never has to play another down, and we own that money. So, yeah.
Imagine being Nick Chubb. All of Cleveland and the whole world knows you are the team.
Yeah.
And you look at this guy, like, I talked to our buddy Will Hubert. The thing that I lost a lot of faith in the guy for is, you owe me nothing. But for $250 million, you think your offseason would be. Do you remember like Odell getting hyped for his first season with us? Come on. Myles Garrett, he had a couple hype videos. In the summer, Nick Chubb is bending metal over his shoulders in an Instagram post every summer. And you'd think Deshaun would want to have any remnants of like reinforced faith in him. Watch, I've been grinding all summer. Look at what I've been doing. But his Instagram, like, I finally had to unfollow it because it's been so disheartening. The dude has been having nothing but a good time.
Yeah,
like,
parties. Exactly.
You don't think I want to be in Greece? I'm Greek. I'd love to be in Greece, dude. But instead of, I don't know, grinding, you've just moved and you've just a different kind of grinding, getting a massage in Greece. So I don't know. For me, I haven't seen anything that was my problem with Baker. My problem with Baker was he seemed to be more distracted with commercials and, satisfying the bottomless pit of need that is his wife. And like, he wasn't focused.
Yeah.
And he just was all caught up in the fame. At the same time, he didn't have much support. And so what did we change the support? No, the coaching staff and everything's still the same. So you got a wild animal with lacking support that is not, and he isn't focused. And we're supposed to anticipate him to be perfect. He shares a similar problem with Baker in his gameplay, and it is that he holds the ball and tries to scramble way too much. Get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
Get rid of the ball.
I feel like that's kind of his specialty, though, kind of making
It is.
something
That's what
out
we're
of
paying
nothing.
for.
So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Last year was, like I said, last year I don't think he looked good at all. So
I got the perfect analogy for you. Okay, so running around, dancing and prancing like a Michael Vick works.
Yes.
When you get the touchdown or the 40-yard run around the outside, like a Michael Vick.
Mm-hmm.
My analogy is you're playing golf and you got a buddy, goes unnamed, takes a million swings, takes 2 hours to hit the ball. Finally hits the ball, dinks 2 feet.
Yep.
Every person that's played golf with him, unfortunately, complains to me they want to wring his neck. On the flip side, you got another guy, goes unnamed, takes a million practice swings, takes 2 hours to hit the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But he is Mitch, and he is the greatest. So if he puts it right next to the hole, nobody's going to say a word.
Yep.
We, in fact, praise it. Hey. So similar of the same vein, run around and prance a lot. You want to be a deer? Be a deer.
Mm-hmm.
But score the touchdown.
Yeah, you gotta have production. You know, that's what it's all about.
Do you expect it?
I'm gonna say yes.
That's the optimism we always need.
Yeah,
Brian, what do you
I'm
think
not gonna
over there?
say no.
I mean, as long as he's not getting massages and he's going to practice, I want to see what he can do.
Yeah, of course. At the end of the day, we know what he had.
Mm-hmm.
The potential is there, and he's been given nothing but a huge round, a huge playground to like make the most of himself.
Yep, exactly.
That just means it's all up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Will he make the most of himself?
With one of the biggest second chances ever, you know.
Crazy thing, I don't know what this is worth, but Rex Ryan, old Jets coach,
Mm-hmm.
he came out and said, in our practice camp against the Eagles, our defense looked better than any defense he's ever seen. So good, he was saying our defense looked better than the 85 Bears.
That's crazy. I did actually hear that, though. I heard our defense looks absolutely insane. So
Well,
I was listening to 92.3 The Fan, and the boys were saying that's what's going to carry us this season. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm expecting some production out of the offense, too. We have way too many talented players to not produce, you know.
But don't forget the football cliche, which is defense wins games.
Yep.
So
exactly.
if hopefully, our prancing deer can get sacked to the end of the earth, and you'll still have
a shot in every game. Yep. Exactly.
Here's the real killer. You looked at our last season, something me and my friends talk about all the time. If I would have looked at you and said you would have scored 35 points on the Steelers
Mm-hmm.
and lost, your mind would have been blown.
Oh yeah, that's
like we were putting the numbers up. These were but every game was a shootout.
Yeah.
So hopefully, at least that shows that we've adjusted in the right ways. In our offense, though, again, you're leaning on a Chubb, a guy who rubs his chub. Like outside of those two characters, you really praise Cooper, but they know to just be on him like white on rice. So he's always in heavy coverage.
Have you heard anything about Elijah Moore either this year?
Good. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know he was a rookie last year on the Jets, and he didn't do anything. And we picked him up in a trade. Now everyone's just like, this guy's the next big thing in Cleveland. So I don't know. We're gonna have to see what he can do.
Wow.
I think he had one touchdown last season. He didn't put up any numbers, so we'll have to see.
Okay. Well, I'm optimistic. The sad part is I'm not totally thrilled with the coaching.
Mm-hmm.
We had to make a stand and commit to a coaching staff because we've just been bottoming out with
exactly.
whole new cycle every season. So I get committing to something. The heartbreaking part is I don't know if this is necessarily the one that we needed to commit to.
Yeah, it's just so tough. You never know when the right coach or the right player is going to come along. Like, and how many times in Cleveland have we had the right player and then he's gone somewhere else and done so well? It's just like, we had who coached for the Browns? Nick Saban?
Yeah.
Or no, or he did, and Bill Belichick, right?
Yeah.
So we've had two of the greatest coaches in both levels coach for us, and we didn't know what we had. So it's kind of a time and place thing, you know?
Well, and I think it goes to show that management is multiple facets,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So it's coaching, but then even more so, it's not just coaching, it's
The front office.
the
everything.
management, the ownership,
Yep.
scout, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're going to find issue with is you can have some really strong pieces, and if they're off balance, it just totally bottoms out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Fine. Any wrapping thoughts on the Browns?
11-6.
Okay.
That's what I'm.
That's a
calling.
strong prediction.
What about you?
Listen,
You got it. You got to hit me with a number.
I'm saying if we go over 50-50, I'm happy.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know.
Well, we have 17 games, so
right. So if we could go over
What are you
500,
thinking?
I'm happy. But at the end of the day, I think 9-8 is a tough ask.
Really?
We face good teams.
Yeah,
man.
I know. But every team in the NFL is good now. That's the thing.
But our
the talent
division has gotten
yeah.
strong.
Our division's next level.
Have you seen what they paid Lamar?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do when you watch Odell one-hand dunk on your touchdown?
I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I think he's washed up. We'll have to see what he does this season, but I think he's washed.
I could agree on that. That's what I'm hoping. At least I need to, or else he's going to be dunking on us. But
if he does dunk on us, I'll be like genuinely upset. I'll be like, dude, come on. Because do you think Lamar Jackson can throw the ball better than Baker Mayfield?
I think he definitely can maneuver himself.
Can he throw the ball better though? We're talking about getting Odell the rock.
Here's it's a balance of things, right? I think Lamar had a better line, so give that to Baker's benefit. At the same time, though, he scrambles so much better.
Yeah.
So the guy's got
true.
more time. He can get set and more comfortable. Baker thought he was Michael Vick.
Yeah,
and he's throwing like who's the Chiefs quarterback? Blanking out here.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, so you get Mahomes over there who's like doing cartwheels, side arming, and like Baker thinks he can get Sports Center highlight like that. And it's like you're not that.
Yep.
Look at his hair, look at your hair. You're not the same. Different people, different genes. You don't get to do that.
Yep.
Look at your thighs and how it meets your butt. You will never run like that. So you want to look at him and just like, dude, acknowledge the pieces you're like. I think Lamar works better with what he has. He has better pieces, but I also think, Baker might have had a better arm when given the opportunity. But guess what? Baker's shorter too. So you could get a bigger line, but now he's got an even harder time seeing. So the deck was stacked against him. And I'm sorry. I do think Lamar's going to get that pass off quicker or better than Baker, regardless of how the scenario plays out. But it goes to show if Odell flourishes in Baltimore, it speaks to him and his daddy were right.
Yeah,
it was all Baker.
I agree. And
what team did he just get picked up by? Was it the Packers?
No, Buccaneers. They
That's
just
it.
named him the starting quarterback today, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he was in like a QB competition. I don't know who it was with, but today, named him starting QB.
Yeah, that team's going to have a rough go at it.
Yeah, they'll probably be one of the worst teams in the league.
Do we play the Buccaneers this year, Brian? I don't know.
I don't think
I'd
we
love
do.
to.
I don't think we do.
I don't think we do either. It would have been fun. Boo.
But I think Cleveland likes Baker. I really do.
They do in a weird way.
I really do.
I don't. But my friends do.
I never was a huge fan, ever.
Dude, his ego was too
I was
huge.
just about to say that his ego.
You want to know why I kind of get the trigger point when you compare him to Lamar is they were the same QB class, and I don't care on skill. Like, wasn't who's the other one? Was it Josh Allen? No. Who was the other quarterback amongst
No,
the
I think
three?
Josh Allen was in that
Yeah.
class.
Okay. So the three of them. Take the skill level however you want them. When it comes to an athlete, you're getting unnecessary money to begin with.
Yep.
You should not be making that much money, socially speaking, more than a doctor, a nurse, a firefighter, like people that if gravity stopped working for athletes, society goes on. But if gravity stopped working for the people I listed,
Yep.
things come to a halt.
Oh, yeah.
Goes to show how necessary you are socially. So you're making unbalanced, stupid money. And in lieu of that, the only thing I think you owe society and people is being a good example and being a beacon for more goodness. So you're supposed to be a moral idol.
That can get fuzzy sometimes, though, just in my opinion.
Tell me why.
Just because think about every single little move of yours being under the microscope. Yep.
Well,
I mean, that would be terrible in my opinion.
Don't be wearing your white suit, killing a guy outside a bar.
Yep.
But they still made a statue of Ray Lewis. So, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, sir.
So that's kind of the balance I'm talking about. Maybe just don't kill a guy.
Yep.
When you're compared to Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, we're talking about class acts.
No, you're right.
Baker couldn't shut up. He couldn't bite his tongue, and he couldn't be a gentleman.
Yep.
He was getting it. He has like Colin Cowherd or whatever his name. Like he has feuds with specific people in the media. Why? Because he can't keep it. Just keep your head down and focus. At the same time, who am I to say that, right? If people were talking about me, I'd have something to say too.
Yeah.
So I get it, but this was something that always stood out to me. Lamar Jackson, when he threw interception, he went to every player on the offense, shook their hand and apologized. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Whether it was really his fault or not, as the leader, he needed to step up and fall on the sword.
Yep.
And kind of be the scapegoat for the situation to kind of bring back morale. I never once saw Baker take responsibility for a single one of his interceptions. That man, after every game, not only did he not avoid the microphone and camera, but he had a slew of responses and excuses to justify what he experienced. And that's just not a good teammate, and it's certainly not a good leader.
I agree.
So that's my problem, is comparing him to Lamar. Lamar isn't underperforming. So even if it's mediocrity and average, he's still a strong, moral idol, someone that you know people can make a foundation of their locker room and their lives.
Yep.
And if people are going to be paying to have your name on their jersey, at the very least, be a good person.
Yep.
You know?
I agree. But that is what I do like about Sean, too. I think he's a strong leader. I really do.
I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that, and I'm hopeful. I think we have, and back to kind of a point of our conversation, how strong our division looks. No matter how strong those teams look, like, don't get me wrong, it looks like the Bengals are having a good time.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, it does look like we've got just a strong core foundation of people. A lot of those guys now, I mean, something we really didn't experience besides Hall of Famer Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
Like, we've got a crew of guys that have been around, are this team.
Some Super Bowl champions, we've got some vets that can really play.
I'm excited. I'm hopeful. All right, so you want to move on to another story here?
Sure.
Brian, before we move on, what do you predict for the season?
What do they have? 17 games?
Yep, 17.
Let's go 11-6.
I like
that. Okay.
It's a good number right there.
Hey, I know we're live, and this is behind baseball talk, but Brian, don't forget that this camera's going to shut off somewhere at 30 minutes. So I just don't want you blindly clicking to it. Okay. So at some point you'll have to come back and record it. All right. So moving on to the next topic. Listen to this. Husband and wife. You just came off of a fun wedding weekend with your friends.
Yep.
Husband and wife, or soon to be married, newly engaged or engaged persons that are going to get married in a week have their wedding beautifully planned out in Italy. And a week before their wedding, their gorgeous golden retriever eats the passports.
Oh, wow. So what did they end up doing?
Dude.
They didn't go, or?
So right now they're trying to work with, U.S. ambassador officials to try to
do they
either expedite a passport, get a interim type of like holdover passport, some type of official document.
Yeah.
Or they're screwed. I don't know, man. I don't know if there's palms.
How do they know? How do they know the dog ate it? Like, was there shrapnel around and stuff? Like, what?
Okay, guys. Unfortunately, I'm watching him. He looks like the 10-armed thing from Men in Black, just like pushing all these buttons. One day we'll be able to bring in multimedia for you to see. Unless, Brian, you could do the share screen to show them the pic. Just literally Google the dog eats passport and you'll see the pictures. You could share the screen. Dude, a golden retriever just shredded their passport.
I feel like golden retrievers are kind of naughty, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I have some friends with some, and I go over their house and they're like jumping all over you, just they have no chill. And it's what we talked about.
I don't know anybody
before.
like that, Brian.
What? Oh, Brian.
But let's talk about the reason I say that, Brian, and your microphone's live,
Brian's
so you can join in at any time.
Me.
But the only reason I bring that up is because I was just about to click over to James and go, hey, one thing you and I can truly bond over as we talk about these beastly golden retrievers, which are beautiful. I love how groomed and pretty your golden retriever is. But at the same time, you and I can bond over how much better a small dog is. Yep. My 7-pound wiener dog, if it gets in the way, if it's too intrusive, if it's on you, if it's begging you for food, I can just pick that bee up with one arm.
Yep.
We're going. Roxy out. And it's never intrusive.
Mm-hmm.
Your dog becomes too much when it takes up the position of a human being.
Yep.
If I'm at a person's house, Brian, this is not you specifically. I'm just saying literally in general. When I go to a person's house and your dog is on the couch and I'm standing there and your dog is on the couch and I'm still standing there. And again, your dog is on the couch. If we're just standing there like, what are we doing here? I'm the person. That's the dog. I'm the guest. That's the dog. I'm still asking, what are we doing here?
Right.
Like, one, at your house, your dog doesn't stand a chance. My one cheek is 4 of it. I'm just coming in like, dude,
and
either move or it's coming in.
Yeah.
Like, these other dogs, I'm looking at it, it's like, dude, my paw is your whole thigh.
Yep.
I will one swat ruin your pants. How badly you want to sit down?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they're just, and the drool and everything.
Dude, the drool!
Brian, this isn't a personal attack, I swear.
He's got to say that, and I had to say that because I know the way your brain works.
I don't mind your golden.
I love your dogs, but I'm also acknowledging people with big dogs. Not Brian.
Brian has a couple big dogs.
A lot of big dogs.
Right, because I'm fully excluded from this whole conversation. So it works for me.
But yeah, dude, what do? You walk home, you're about to like a week. If you've dealt with a bridezilla for 6 months now.
I know, imagine that.
Can you believe so-and-so has an RSVP'd? You're going to put grandma next to Uncle Bill? And it's just like, I don't think you should invite so many friends. I don't have so many friends. Well, because nobody likes you as much. Anyway, at the same time, you've gone through all that headache and it's finally here. Like, I've even got part of my suitcase packed. Like, we had to talk to these Italian people on setting up a venue. Oh, you want something? And you're just like, yes. You're just like, I don't even know how you probably took a trip there to taste the cakes. You got to try the different ones. You
You
know?
have to.
And so
Got
this is your second time there. Your passport has already dodged your dog once.
It's got the Italian stamp in it already.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So the curious part is this. Yeah, red button. The curious part becomes, what do you do if you walk home, you've dealt with all of that headache for so long, and there's the dog with destroyed passports?
You got to call it quits.
Call it quits. Oh, you're killing me. Why is that?
I think that's a sign from the lords that I'm messing with you. No, I mean, my reaction would probably depend on her reaction. You know what I mean? If she was cool about it, I'd be like, "Don't worry, we can figure this out." If she was freaking out, I'd be like,
Dude,
I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can do this."
what's up, Brian?
So on the screen, I see the movie recorded exceeded the 4 GB limit. It was split into 2 files from that camera.
Okay. Is it still on there?
Yeah, I don't know how to get rid of it. Let's look at some dogs.
Yeah, we're good. All right.
Oh, it went away. Okay.
So,
We're butter.
yeah, we're bitching.
Bathing in margarine.
All right. But here, I literally just saw a TikTok recently where some old lady was like, if you bury a bottle of bourbon upside down in your yard, it's not going to rain on your wedding day. And it's like, okay, unless like I'm getting married on a beach in Jamaica, as I hope to, I'm not going to really care if it's raining or not.
Well,
But
isn't rain good luck too?
I would say that.
I've heard.
How about this? Rain in all of literature has forever meant new beginning, or the turning of a new leaf, or the an end, which brings about a new beginning. So a dying scene or a birth scene or some. Usually rain means new beginning. So it's like, to me, that's also always kind of symbolized that in my life. I've seen it, experienced it in that way. So I guess the eye of the beholder, right? It's the lens you look at it.
Yep.
You go, the dog brought about tragedy, or listen, there's nothing we could do. We're going to ask government. They're going to say yes or no. And if we can't leave, then how crazy is that?
We're
so convinced of freedom and we have none.
I know. No, that's the thing.
Permission.
We need a piece of paper to travel outside the country. Yeah, that's nuts.
And again, you justify it because why? It's a legitimized way of identifying yourself. At the same time, though, that means identifying yourself through the state. You need the state's permission to ever leave.
Yep.
That's crazy, dude.
It's nuts.
My uncle used
to. It shows how much control our government really has. Seriously.
Yeah, think about that. My uncle always used to talk about when Russia was communist, like they had this huge problem where like all the Russians wanted to leave. They wanted to leave. The conditions were terrible there.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to leave, and all they wanted to do was leave. Well, what did Russia change? They didn't make the conditions any better, but they allowed people to leave. And what you realize is it's kind of like a dog on a leash. It tugs and pulls, but the second you let it off its leash, it's kind of like, well, this is where safety and security is, so I'm kind of going to stay here.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what. And he goes, it wasn't until the Russians based their system off of America that they were able to get the same kind of like willed control. So now now you see it. Like, you are not allowed to leave. We just let you think you're allowed to leave. We let you leave. And you don't have the freedom to come and go. And that comes back to borders. Like, you can't have no borders, but that's the price that comes with borders.
Exactly. Yep.
So, best of luck to the people. I hope you get your wedding.
Right.
If not,
where was that at? Do you know?
Who cares?
Yeah.
There's some dude in like Venice with a giant cake on his belly, like, oh, that's what I'm talking about. He's got all his boys over, just tons of pasta, and just like,
they're not coming.
Stupid Americans. This is why we eat dog. We don't keep dog.
Right. Oh my goodness.
All right, man. we'll get to the Trudeau stuff. One more. Brian, what time we at?
We're at 6:42.
Oh, cool. All right. So, have you heard the song "Rich Men North of Richmond"?
I actually I heard a little bit about it, but not too much. Yeah.
Have you heard the song yet?
I listened to it last night. Yeah.
Okay. What'd you think of it?
I didn't think it was bad. You know,
Oh,
I
dude.
thought the message was pretty awesome, to
Dude,
be
I love
totally
that
honest.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's what'd you get from it? What do you think the message was?
Dude, I'm seeing articles talking about this thing like it's this huge tragedy. It's this the controversial song continues to skyrocket in the charts.
Mhm.
And here's how I got the video. So Tim Pool, a guy that I get my social commentary from and political commentary, he's going on and on about this song. Go give it $1, support it. $1 gives it 150 views.
Mhm.
Let's get this thing to platinum, yada, yada, yada. And you're like, dude, okay. It's been like 20 minutes on the same song. Like, move on.
Mhm.
And, you know, and I'm driving to my buddy's house, and it's like dusk, you know, sunset's hitting, play this song, and it literally brought a tear to my eye.
Mhm.
Like, because it's a song coming from my system, right? But it isn't Doja Cat talking about painting the city red and how she sold her soul for fame.
Mhm.
Finally, for once, it's not the flipping devil. Like, the devil
Exactly.
isn't coming through my radio for once, and it's not some Bible thumping bullshit, and it's not some country slinging nonsense.
Mhm.
It's a man,
And it's just
human
real.
being,
Yep. Mhm.
talking about human beings
Exactly.
experiencing the same struggle we're all experiencing.
And this is the thing that kills me, because I feel like the song has just become immediately politicized. And I've never, what's his name? Who sings it?
His name- Oliver Anthony.
Oliver Anthony. I have never heard of him before I
Right.
saw the song.
Oh, yeah, no,
Did
definitely.
you?
No, dude, you know what's cool? So
Mhm.
I also saw a video on TikTok of this kid, and this guy, his voice is really deep. And he's just like, I know, like, it just blew up. He's just a
Mhm.
regular guy
Yeah.
from a regular town in North
I
Carolina.
mean, I'm on his Spotify, and his Spotify looks like he took like a disposable camera picture,
Dude,
and like,
So
you know what I'm talking
the
about.
video is him he goes, I know all of you been giving me a ton of crap for like not being ready. I didn't expect this to blow up. Like, everybody's saying, get it on Spotify, get it on. Like, I'm getting there. And like, this is overwhelming, and I'm doing it at my pace. I'm gonna get it done. And like, cheers to him, man.
Mhm.
So this is a one-man show.
Yep.
When you're giving $1, it's going to that guy.
Yep.
That's it. No record label, no corporate system telling them what to do or taking a little bit off the top. You're supporting a human being, singing about human beings who are all sharing a similar struggle.
Mhm.
But that was the cool part, is that he was just a small town guy
Yeah.
that just is now like getting overwhelmed with.
See, and the thing is, I know I feel like a lot of it is almost bad press too, though, because I don't.
Listen,
They turned this song yet again. Who the hell knows how? A guy literally singing about everyday struggles, the hardworking man. In the right versus left, I feel like. You know what I mean?
oh my God.
Like,
You know,
and it's just like, yo, I heard this song and I enjoyed it. Like, I didn't
how
think
many
there was a
articles-
political meaning behind it. Do you know what I mean? I heard the song and this guy's talking about going to work, working his job, these bullshit hours for bullshit pay. And I feel like that's what 90, like you
And how
just
about
said,
this?
95% of America.
300-pound people taking advantage of the
Yep,
welfare system. Maybe
exactly.
we shouldn't be taking taxes and paying for their Rolo bags.
Mhm.
Like, again, but now you're seeing articles that make it out to be a racial issue.
Exactly.
That make it
And that's why I asked you. I was like, do you know the artist? Because I don't know his background a lot.
dude,
you know,
he's
like,
a bald-headed, red beard,
and I
white
feel
guy
like
from-
he doesn't even know.
Nah.
He's just passionate about making his music about his life. And
How
he
cool.
probably lived in like a trailer somewhere with his dog, like, and you know what I mean? Like, and that's that.
dude, it's sad that they can do that.
Mhm.
It goes to show how vulnerable we are, and
Mhm.
also how the Doja Cats and the Weekends and all the people, the Beyoncés of the world, there's only one way in. And if you try to get in another way, you will have the system will quickly
And that's what
make
he's
you out to be
that's
the
what he's
demon.
saying about too, the man. You
Right.
know what I mean? That's
Again, those rich politicians above
exactly.
Richmond sitting there in Washington, D.C.
And that's the last thing that kills me about it. It's like rich politicians, left, right,
Dude,
whatever.
I love a good politician worth $50 million off of a $200,000 a year annual pay.
50 million, what hundreds of millions.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
man. That math checks out. So, man, I got the soundboard.
Come on, man.
That's what I wanted to toss in a good Biden. Come on, man. But I didn't have the
Come on, man.
So, here's the thing, back to the rich men north of Richmond. God bless a guy like this. He's going to endure a lot of hate, a lot of struggle. Sad part is, here's what I don't like. People interpret the world through the lens of other mediums.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to experience it themselves. You've got Judge D's shirt on there. You've got a guy who said a speech that was nothing but uniting, but was demonized through a Democrat newspaper. And any person that never listened to it thinks he said something bad. Any person that actually does the homework to sit there and listen to it very quickly realizes it was nothing but a uniting speech for everybody.
Yep.
Look at something like Sounds of Freedom. It's QAnon. It's crazy. It's all this stuff. And truly what it is something we should all unite around. How is selling a child for bad things to be done to them?
Yep.
How is that a bipartisan issue?
Right.
Like, how do you brush that off as the other side bad? You like that stuff? You want that stuff going on in your classroom? What is going on? So you got a movie that supports good stuff for all people. You've got a song that supports good stuff for all people. Never says a race, never says a party.
Yep.
People are being screwed by the man. Now, what does the man want you to do? Not the man. The rich men north of Richmond. So the politicians in Washington, what do they want? The last thing they want is something that unites us all and makes us realize we're all together on the same team. So we're going to make that a bipartisan product.
Exactly. No, it's all about the divide. You're right. It's all about the divide.
Do you have any advice on how we go about?
You've asked me this before on here.
I love doing it. Every time.
I don't know. I mean, I wish there was something magical I could say or do to make us all just actually come together, because if it ever happened, it'd be a beautiful thing, I mean, we could get something done, but I don't know. I don't know
either, man. It's unfortunate. Do we have any comments? Is anybody trying to join in on the convo?
No.
No.
It is just us in a room talking to ourselves.
China.
Got it down. Yeah.
So let's get to our last one here. So our main man Trudeau, the guy that runs Canada. Some think he's the baby of Castro from Cuba. Good old Fidel.
Good old Fidel.
Now, I'm not saying anything about that, but if you see the picture side by side, you will. Aside from that, him and his wife are getting a divorce.
Really?
Yeah. A few years ago, they were trying to work on it. She was publicly like, hey, I know there's infidelity, but, I'm not going to say one way or the other.
Wait, she came out and said that, really?
This was years ago, actually.
I didn't know that. Wow. How long has he been prime minister for?
I don't know. Brian, that's when you're going to have to jump in. Check in. Let me know. When did he become prime minister? And then backtrack the math.
Yeah.
But
he was prime minister from, wait, who are we talking about? Fidel Castro?
Dude,
like, wait,
I want you to
this
be
isn't
Jamie,
adding
and
I'm like
instead
in my head
you
on
are
this
two bears. No, we're looking for Trudeau when that guy started. But anyway, Trudeau, he has. I should have had the pictures ready for Brian to switch to. Can you Google Trudeau
Yep.
Macron affair?
Oh.
Macron.
Since 2015.
Macron.
Macron, isn't that France?
Yeah, it is. Good for you. I would not have known that.
Really?
Before this thing, like let's go back like 2 weeks ago, I would not have like
Do you know why I know that? Funny
please
story.
drop it.
Because I was watching a video on Instagram like a few years back, and there was actually a guy who was like shaking hand. Well, Macron was shaking hands with the people, you know, it was like a peaceful thing. And then he gets to this one guy, and this one guy just smacks him across the face. And all these Secret Service agents come in, I'm guessing like French Secret Service agents, and they just tackle this guy. And he's like, I just got smacked. Like, it was just comical to me. I thought it was
Well,
hilarious.
it gets funnier because he's not just taking it in the face.
Oh my goodness.
Because I hope Brian can find some of the pictures.
I got the video.
Show the pictures of them making out.
Wait,
Dude, there's pictures of
them
of
kissing.
Trudeau and Macron like holding each other in like a soft embrace.
Where?
Can I do the slap first?
Yeah.
Did these
Hold
just
up.
come out?
Play them. Soon we're gonna have.
All right, I'm playing it. I have it muted.
Oh, so you can see. Hell yeah.
Yep, there they come. I'm gonna get them.
Wait, so are you gonna?
He's playing the video,
Oh, okay.
but you got to see these pictures, dude.
Yeah.
He
Wait,
has
did
my
these
phone.
Just come out though, or what? Like,
Dude,
what?
surfacing because they just got a divorce. So because of this divorce, they're
Stop
like.
it.
So here's another thing: a French production company made a documentary like just recently, a year or two ago at the latest, about Macron and his relationship with his wife. Turns out his wife admits to receiving an anonymous phone call explaining to her an affair that her husband's having with a man that they found, like they got caught in public. And then there's these photos that surfaced of that. Are you showing them?
Yeah.
Dude,
This guy is
just
like,
It
Google.
just has them like kissing each other's cheek.
Yeah, and then there's another one of them like face to face. There should be 3. There's like a series of 3.
Face to face, hugging and kissing each other on the.
Again, it's not totally indicative, but also, dude, I just shook your hand and I got everything I needed from my
yeah.
acquaintance
I
of you.
I don't smooch my boys.
Weird,
No smooch.
but we're also not French.
That's
But also, are they French kissing?
I don't even. Have you seen 2 French guys just like casually kiss? I don't know if I even.
That's what I'm saying,
I don't
man.
know. Yeah.
And that's not Canadian culture, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if I'm your wife, I got questions.
It sounded like she did have some questions.
Yeah,
and she,
I think
she didn't like the
unfortunately they got
answers.
answered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Does he have kids?
what?
Trudeau.
Yeah, they do. They got kids. Again, remember I had all those packets? I told you I had packets.
Mm-hmm.
I lost them somewhere before the show. So
He left them on his car.
there are stats. Yeah, there is just through the city of Garfield is flying papers of articles. So I think I had one last one, or was that the last one? I think that's all we got. Brian,
Yes, sir.
how's it looking over there?
Looks like 1s and 2s over here.
Any wrapping thoughts? What do
Yeah,
anything you wanna
just
talk about?
quick
Yeah.
quick little prayer for the people of Maui. You know, my sister actually has lived on the island for 7 years now.
She's there now.
Fortunately, she was actually visiting Italy, so she was across the world when it took place. But her neighbors were sending her photos and stuff from her porch. I mean, the fire was within 100 yards of her house. Luckily, everything was okay on her end, but I mean, there's like 800 people missing.
Is she going back?
She flew back this morning, actually.
Any word?
So no, not yet. She'll probably be. So She'll probably be landing in about an hour or so.
So let me ask
So-
you this. What's the word on the grounds when she talks to the people? Like, is there any weird talk about
Yeah,
what this
oh,
is?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
want to know.
yeah.
Because but before I dive into the inquiry, this is why I even opened that door. And I think it's awesome you've even brought this conversation up. Clearly, I know my algorithm of TikTok is trying to make me schizophrenic crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I know what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
And so it's saying it's space lasers and all this crazy
I
shit.
saw that.
And I ain't paying that shit no mind.
Yeah,
'cause I know what crazy games you're trying to pull on me, Ricky Bobby. At the same time, there's really something weird to how you protect you know how you rebuild a Maui tourism. Like people coming with money and assistance and hands builds a town, not keeping people out. So there's this weird proactive effort to keeping people out, isolating and insulating the narrative and talk. And like I'm watching videos of the citizens like going to government buildings, like protesting not only the aid and the approach to this situation, but also there was like apparently some really crazy
There's some wild
construction
stuff going on.
Yeah, like they were going to destroy a lot of the island to build stuff, and
they've been trying to for a long time. I mean, Maui's the least developed island out of all the islands there.
Okay,
you know,
okay.
So
I didn't know that.
The people, the thing is, the two little cities that burned down, they were two of like the most historic cities in all of Hawaii, and they were known for having 5th, 6th, 7th generation families living in these small homes that refused. It didn't matter what developers came through, how many millions they offered them, they would not give up their land. It was their sacred land, because people don't realize it either. Hawaii, I mean, it's almost all of it's sacred land. I mean, they had kings, queens there. Like it was, they had their own little civilization, so
they're allowed to do that over there.
Right before Uncle Sam went in and took it over. But
you're gonna let this fat guy cut himself in lotion and eat a hot dog on your beach.
Right? No, but I think that's the craziest thing to me. And same, my sister mentioned that too. It's just there's a lot of fishy things going on, and it's just really weird how these two cities that were these two historic cities that have been holding out for so long, because Oprah, I don't know if you know this, Oprah like owns half of Maui.
How wild is that?
Half
but
the
that
island.
that was a recent development too. She just went out and bought
she's had land there, but exactly.
This wasn't an overnight thing, but that's what I mean is like she's had this for a long time. But as of recent, she almost like doubled her real estate.
Yeah.
There.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But so that's the other thing. Like the government's not letting these people back to their land or anything. So like these people have nothing. Like a lot of these people, I mean, gas is $8 a gallon on Maui. Like a lot of these people are living paycheck to paycheck with 9 or 10 people in these 2-bedroom little homes, and now they all burned down. But yeah, just there's still 800 people missing, which I think is insane.
Yeah, how does that happen
right?
on an island like
800 people missing, like 115 confirmed dead now. It's the deadliest fire in I think U.S. history. Quite possibly.
But they're missing. Like that's the thing.
They're
find the charred.
I mean, it's like, see, that's the thing. Like, it's like with the World Trade Center. Like, everyone that was missing, I think everyone knew. What?
Fair.
It's a matter of finding, because a lot of these. I mean, that fire was burning so hot. I guess because of the hurricane winds. I don't know if you saw pictures, but I mean, cars were like flattened. They're like charred. Like, so they're identifying people from DNA. Like they're taking their charred remains, taking them into a DNA lab and releasing it through, that. Like it's a long process. But yeah, I've heard many stories. And another disheartening thing also, sorry to harp on it, but
I love it.
I heard no, but I also heard that developers were like already contacting these families and like trying to buy their land like right after the fire. So I mean, it's really messed up. So just keep them in your prayers, and hopefully they will find more survivors and rebuild like it was.
Brother, man, I really hope you keep us updated on the developments. Because here's the reality. I think most that's why people don't trust the media. Right now, we're no longer at the age of information. We're at the age of curation. We have all the information. Now we need to curate what's right and what's wrong and find reliable sources. So nothing is going to beat boots on the ground. We're playing a game of telephone, and we're getting narrative interpreted by what many believe to be bad actors, but regardless, you're relying on them. Good or bad, you're relying on them. So we could all benefit from kind of boots on the ground, people experiencing other people or experiencing it head on. So please keep us updated, on some of the things that your sister experiences.
I guess Biden's supposed to be there today, so that should be interesting.
Well, I wonder what
with
hand
his
they got up his ass doing that.
$700 checks he's giving everyone there.
Dude,
I saw a video where they had all the cars coming by and they're like, "Oh, it's Biden. Hey, everybody, it's Biden." And they're all like, "Fuck yeah."
No, my sister told me there were going to be protests and stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
Dude,
God bless him.
I can't. Dude, one last thing.
Yeah.
I knew I was forgetting something. Last thing real quick. Tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Thursday is the 25th is the first Republican GOP primary presidential debate.
Is there going to be Is there going to be a Democratic debate, or are they not?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, no, because Biden.
Are they going to let him do it though? That's what I'm saying.
No. Here's what's going to happen: is some scandal is going to force him out. They're telling him get out, and him and his family are like, no, we're not getting out.
Biden?
Yeah.
Oh.
Here's what's going on. Behind the curtain is you've got a mob family that's like, all right, we're in power. We're not stepping down. And the party's like, it's your turn. We put you there. Time to step down. They're like, one, we're not stepping down to make sure we don't go to jail and to protect our asses. But two, this is way too sweet of a gig. We're making way too much money. We ain't giving it up. So what's going to happen is they will eat themselves and they will burn him somehow. A scandal pull him out, and you watch. It's going to be Newsom. It'll be somebody. It's either going to be Mike Obama or it's going to be Newsom. Or it's going to be
Mike
Michelle. Big Mike, Michelle. It's going to be somebody.
Oh my. Okay. I'm like picturing I'm like, wait, does Barack have a freaking brother? I was like, wait a second. Took me a second.
But regardless, we'll see how that plays out. The GOP one, though, you've got DeSantis, who I think is definitely a shill for the system. Chris Christie's going to be up there dancing around. Dun, 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 and then Mike Pence is going to be having flies. Like, he's just going to be a pile of shit.
Should be super interesting. When is that? Thursday?
And then the one that everybody's excited about, the youngest one up there that everybody's got all their juices pumping for, the Vivek Ramaswamy. Have you heard of this man? He's very well spoken.
I have not.
Vivek.
Wait, is he the one with the
Indian guy? I don't know.
Flow, kinda?
Yeah.
Worth a lot of money.
Maybe younger guy.
American entrepreneur.
Yeah.
There you go. So guess what?
It's an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you say that. You want to know why I brought this whole thing up? So everybody's going, yeah, loser. But we got Vivek, and we don't want to, because nobody wants Trump, right? So when it comes to Vivek, because again, Ron, they think he's a shill.
Yeah.
Chris Christie is a clown, and he's just up there to take up space. Mike Pence, no.
Mike Pence.
So, he's kind of at the front of a lot of people's minds. Guess what I just learned today?
What?
He was on the list of, I can't remember because I don't have the document, but it's like 2019 or 2018, 2014's World Economic Forum's most prized up and coming entrepreneurs. That in and of itself tells me exactly what he is. Like, who's invested in Vivek? And it ain't us. It ain't the people. Who's invested in Vivek being Vivek and winning presidency? So keep that in mind as you think about the people. Exactly. Keep that in mind as you get excited about the people that you think have your best interests in mind. All right. I think we can wrap this thing up. Brian, as I finish up here, when we're done, you could do that video we got set up and end that thing with the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You guys got a couple more minutes to say something?
It should be at the top of your desktop.
Yeah,
So
I deleted it. There it is.
now you don't even need to do that one, the 7-second
that
one for the Rethink Tank Live.
Hold up, people. We are trying to get this.
And
that
like I
camera's
said,
gonna
we're
be-
learning. So
Am I going to
let
be
me
able to
tell you,
rewatch this today?
totally, it's going to be posted again. It's going to be the
Live.
pod. Exactly, and that's what
This
I like.
was one take.
Boy, wasn't. I think they felt that. I think they felt that. But a cool thing that's coming our way is the first Tuesday in September, and every Tuesday moving on, we're gonna have a live show, 7 p.m. every Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
So this, my co-host David Cunningham was unable to make it. He's a farmer in his free time, and it was hop harvesting season.
Oh,
So
wow.
he had to abort, and that's why I came to you and said, I was like, James, I appreciate you. for being
Well,
such a-
the next Tuesday you do this, I'd love to sit on that comfortable
Dude, you
couch
can come here
across the
anytime.
way and
We got a
watch the
fridge full of
episode.
goodies. You
Hell
can pour
yeah.
yourself a bourbon and
Yeah.
sit back, whatever you want. But yeah, so guys, we're working out the kinks. Learn it. Brian, I just threw him into a swimming pool of tech. I mean, it's taken me so many years
He's killing
to
it, too.
totally master like a fraction of what we then further developed for the live show. And so we're going to have to master the transitions and all that stuff. So Brian, they got patience. I got patience. We appreciate you. But look forward to that coming in September. Otherwise, guys, if we made you laugh, if we made you think the best you could do to support the show, share this episode. If you liked it, that means somebody else did too. Also, join us on Tuesdays moving forward. You could come and join in the conversation. Jump in the comments. That's the thing that's going to help us with the algorithms, and that's the best thing to support this show because, again, we're just doing this for free, for your fun and enjoyment. So you can catch all of our content at our website at www.rethinktankpodcast.com. You can find me at Grgat57 or all of our Rethink Tank content across the social medias at Rethink Tank. It's up there on the screen too. Otherwise, guys, we'll see you next week for the live show on Tuesday. And then don't miss an awesome new Rethink Tank episode coming out on Thursday with the lead singer of Quick Mystery and my good friend Dallas Still. And otherwise, guys, we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace. It worked.
That was great.
And then probably in the right corner, you can